Hi there, Sofia from Almasar. So I just wanted to quickly talk to you guys about the climate change conversation that we had last week. Um, I felt like we need to have more people coming in to have a talk, so we decided to have another session this week, Wednesday, 12:30 to 2:30. Now, why are we doing this? For people who are living around Forth Valley area, we want to get involved in local discussions to see the impact of climate change and what's happening to us, particularly from Al Masar perspective, for people who are disadvantaged, people who are from ethnic minority communities, people who have just facing inequalities, because there's a strong link between climate change and inequalities, and then also the social, economic, and also affecting people of colour. Small little nugget here came out here is discussing how the weather pattern's changing and how it affects people who have brown skin in relation to the vitamin D. It's just pure chemicals and biological. We want to also talk about the links between our own Eastern culture and climate change, and looking at particularly what we did in this conversation with this audience was how the Quran and Sunnah actually tell us to look after the world around us, which is in fact going to then benefit us and our future generations. And what we're doing actually right now in our behaviours are the opposite, and the impact of that, and then the accountability for that as well. We're looking at cultural changes as we live here in the West, what's happening with our consumerism, um, and just the global impact of that. But then also, because it's 2020, year of COVID, how that's affected climate change, or how it's brought it to the surface, as it has with inequalities, and what's that done for us as a community. I mean, this is a conversation that we really need to have. How did COVID affect us? How does climate change affect us? How is it people who face inequalities actually face the worst of it? And what can we do to raise our voices, to make changes, what we can teach our children? Because let's face it, time is running out. We don't have infinite time in this world. We've wrecked it as it is. Not long to go when our grandchildren, not long to go till they really suffer the consequences of our actions today on how we eat and how we live, how we drive, how we conduct ourselves, just our carbon footprint. What does that even mean? Like, we've got our own social responsibility to our own generations, to make change and discuss this and highlight this. So come along Wednesday, 12:30 to 2:30. I'm going to try and translate some of this in Urdu, okay? But I can't be as bad as Farah though. Right? So इस बुध को हम ऑनलाइन जूम पे बात करेंगे क्लाइमेट चेंज के बारे में, और हमारे अपने मतलब हम भी कौन कैसा असर होता है, मौसम बदल रहा है, और हमें, how do I say this and how does it affect us, like हमारा दीन क्या कहता है, हम और हमारा अपना कल्चर क्या कहता है इस बारे में, हम हमारी ज़िंदगी हम कैसे रह रहे हैं, बच्चों को क्या सिखा रहे हैं, हम क्या खाते पीते हैं, क्या पहनते हैं, कहाँ जाते हैं, कैसे मिलते हैं, कोविड की वजह से हमें क्या नुकसान हुआ है। वेंसडे पिछले हफ्ते को जो बात हुई थी इसी बारे में कि हम अपने लोग हैं जो रिस्ट्रिक्शंस थे कोविड की, कि हम वो नहीं मान रहे थे। कुछ लोगों का ये नज़रिया है कि हम जानबूझ कर नहीं मान रहे थे, और जो इतनी सारी डेथ्स हुई थी हमारी कम्युनिटी में, हमारी अपनी वजह से हुई हैं। You can't do victim blaming, that just BME communities deserve, kind of are to blame for the deaths. I mean, Pakistani people were called COVID spreaders. BME people being called COVID spreaders because we live in bigger families. But what does it actually mean to be from an Asian family? This is a conversation that needs to be had. It's not a case that everyone's flaunting the rules and मिल रहे हैं, parties में जा रहे हैं, शादियाँ कर रहे हैं, लोग इकट्ठे हो रहे हैं। कुछ लोग हमने देखा भी है कि मानते भी नहीं कि ये मसला है और फिर मिल रहे हैं, फिर उसके नतीजे में ज़्यादा लोग हमारे ही माशरे में, हमारी कम्युनिटी में लोग मर रहे हैं। लेकिन ये भी देखें कि हमारी कम्युनिटी में लोग जो जॉब्स करते हैं, फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल इन लोकल शॉप्स या द NHS, वो हमारी कम्युनिटी के लोग हैं, BME people, Western minorities, they're in the front line. and could be that's why they're getting affected more. Like साइंस और नंबर्स यही बता रहे हैं कि मोस्टली जो सबसे ज़्यादा अफेक्टेड है ना वो हम लोग हैं। हमें ही ज़्यादा नुकसान हुआ है। क्लाइमेट चेंज का नुकसान हमें ज़्यादा हो रहा है और कोविड का नुकसान भी हमें ही ज़्यादा हो रहा है। तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं अपने आप को अपनी मदद करने के लिए, अपने बच्चे की मदद करने के लिए। कुछ ही वक्त रह गया इस ज़मीन पे जाके हम रह सके, क्योंकि ये ज़मीन मर रही है और हम मार रहे हैं। हमारी ये जिम्मेदारी है कि हम इसका ख्याल करें और just just respect and love the world, because if we've only got one earth, we can't get another one. एक ही तो दुनिया है। आखिरत में अगर आप आखिरत पे ये यकीन रखते हैं तो आप ये भी यकीन रखें कि जब अल्लाह के सामने हम आएंगे, पेश होंगे, तो वो ज़मीन भी हमारे ख़िलाफ़ बोलेगी कि हमने क्या किया है। So it says in the Quran in Surah Zilzala that when you're resurrected, what you've done on this earth will come forth and you will be questioned. There's accountability. And amongst that are not just people that you wronged, but also the earth that you wronged. So we'll really need to think about this. The mobile phones that we keep changing every year, the clothes that we keep changing every week, you know, the gallivanting that we do, the extra stuff that we do that we don't need to do, the extra meat that we eat. There's so many things that we do that we don't really think about, क्योंकि हम दुनिया के पीछे लगे हुए हैं। It's just live, work, sleep, children, family, that's it. हमने आगे का सोचा ही नहीं है कि हम जब चले जाएंगे इस दुनिया में तो क्या रह जाएगा, क्या छोड़ के जा रहे हैं। So we really need to have a discussion about this. What are we leaving behind? What's our legacy? We go 6 foot under, or cremated, we're dead. What are we leaving behind for a future generation? Because then clearly we're left this earth, it's not our problem. And that's a very selfish view that most of the world is having. And the people who are getting affected by it are the people who don't have a say, who don't have power to make a change. They're the ones who's getting affected. So please, I'd urge you to come and have this conversation, because when you come into a group like this, I mean, there are Urdu speaking people, Punjabi speaking people. We don't have to do it all in English. Just talk about your fears, talk about your worries, talk about what you can do, talk about your ideas, and then go back and talk in your networks and make it a bigger movement, because change will only happen when we start speaking to each other and speaking about this, and making it an issue. Until we don't make it an issue, we're not going to make any changes. And the first change comes from yourself. And again, that's something, again, on Eastern culture, what our Islam says. If you want to change something, first and foremost, you start inwards and change yourself. And then you can go outwards. If your family, your community, your society, your country, and then globally. But the small changes come from you. And it could be something as small as looking at your shopping list or your wardrobe. As small as that. अंदर जान के देखें हम क्या कर रहे हैं, क्या कर सकते हैं, और आगे के हम सोचें कि हमारे पास सिर्फ एक ही मौका है. We have only one chance to fix this. Time's running out. Come join us on Wednesday, 12:30. Register through emailing almasar community@gmail.com. Yeah, through our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram page, or WhatsApp. You know where I am. You know where Farah is. There's Sofia, Nikki, Chelsea, anybody from Almasar. Just ping us any way possible. Ping us a wee message. You want to get involved, have this conversation with us. Hopefully we won't just stop there on Wednesday. We will continue this conversation and we'll keep having catch-ups and discussions on what we can do, because it's a global responsibility. It's everyone's responsibility to make a difference. I hope to see you there. Thank you. Bye.